Hey guys, this is Jeremy. Thank you for coming back to my channel. As many of you have known, the author of Final Fantasy VII, Kazushige Nojima, wrote a light novel called The Trace of Two Paths, featuring the backgrounds on the two heroines of Final Fantasy VII, Tifa and Aerith. In this video, I am going to do a quick summary on what I read about Tifa in the novel. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back and enjoy the story. Tifa grew up with Cloud in Nibelheim. They were childhood friends and neighbors. Both of them stayed next to each other and they used to play together until Cloud suddenly stopped seeing Tifa because of the friends she hangs around with. The names of Tifa's childhood friends were Taylor, Emilio, and Lester. Cloud found them extremely juvenile and did not like them one bit. On the other hand, they too did not like Cloud because they felt that he was a really eccentric kid that wants to take charge of everything, including Tifa. However, despite of his aloof personality, Cloud still followed Tifa around when she was alone and even knew about her pet cat, Maru. So, can I deduce that the young Cloud is a stalker that had a major crush on Tifa? When Tifa turned 8 years old, she lost her mother, and that caused her to grow apart from her friends. She came to believe that her mother had gone to Mount Nibel, and she would be able to meet her again if she crossed the mountain. Only Cloud followed Tifa to Mount Nibel. While crossing the bridge at the mountain, it broke. Both Cloud and Tifa fell off the mountain, causing her to be in coma for 7 days. Tifa's dad, Brian, who was the one who built the bridge by the way, got really distraught. He pushed all the blame to Cloud and accused that he was bad company. He told him to never meet Tifa ever again. When Tifa lost her pet cat Maru, Cloud was the one who found Maru and told his mom, Claudia, to return it to Tifa because he was too shy and afraid to do it himself. He never met Tifa or spoke to her until 5 years later. The upcoming paragraph is directly quoted from the Trace of Two Paths novel. Quote, "As she stood in front of the store, she felt someone's gaze on her back. She turned around and saw Cloud strive. Their eyes met. Usually, when that happened, he would turn away and run off somewhere. But today, Cloud seemed different. She saw his mouth moved. He said something, but Tifa couldn't hear it. She tilted her head to the side. The motion caused Cloud to dash over to her, and she instinctively prepared to flee. He stopped just as he was about to bump into her and blurted, 'Midnight at the water tower.' 'Okay,' she replied. When he heard her response, Cloud took off running as if he was trying to evade her. He didn't have to do that, she thought, since she herself was frantically running away from him to get home." Unquote. So, in that paragraph, Cloud asked Tifa to meet him at the water tower to tell her that he is going to become a first-class soldier just to impress her. Tifa always treated Cloud as someone who is aloof and unattainable, so with him making such a promise to protect her, made her fall in love with him straight away. That was the kind of childhood relationship they shared. After Cloud left to join Soldier, the rest of the boys left the town one by one too to search for jobs, therefore leaving Tifa lonely. All of them promised to write back, but none of them did. To them, Tifa was merely a trophy to be shared among the 3 boys when they were still at Nibelheim. She was jaded, bored, and lonely. That was when she began taking martial arts lessons from the mysterious man named Zangan. 2 years later, Zack and Sephiroth were sent to Nibelheim to investigate the faulty Mako reactor at Mount Nibel. Tifa happened to be the tour guide in charge to bring them around. Cloud was one of the two Shinra guards that was accompanying Zack and Sephiroth, but he was too ashamed to talk or even remove his helmet to reveal his face because he didn't manage to become a first-class soldier. Therefore, Tifa didn't know that Cloud was there with her throughout the entire tour. When she was attacked by a monster at the entry of the reactor, Cloud failed to protect her. Instead, she was the one that defeated the monster with her martial arts and aided Cloud down the mountain. When Sephiroth learned about his true identity, he went berserk and set Nibelheim ablaze. He killed Tifa's father and also cut Tifa's chest with his Masamune. Cloud thought Tifa couldn't survive the blow, so he impaled Sephiroth with his own Masamune, and both of them fell into the bottom of the reactor. Zangan took Tifa to Midgar for medical treatment before heading off. It seemed like Zangan was running away from the Shinra soldiers. I am not sure why though, the book didn't really elaborate on that. The dishonest doctors at the slum stole all her money so she would owe them, and even took a topless picture of her against her will. She took many months to recuperate from the wound and got to know a man called Rakesh, who was coincidentally also one of Zangan's disciples. Upon hearing Tifa's tragic story in Nibelheim, Rakesh grew sympathetic to her and found a job for Tifa to work as a waitress at a pushcart store selling steam buns. So Tifa had to restart her life at Midgar Sector 7 to earn for a living and also to pay off her medical bills and rent. She also had to retrain martial arts all over again to regain the muscle she lost during the many months of being bed-bounded. During that period, she got really close to Marl, who acted like a grandmother to Tifa because Marl saw the topless picture of her at the hospital and took pity on her. Jessie, Wedge and Biggs often visit Tifa's steam bun store to buy buns from her. Tifa had always wanted to befriend Jessie but was too shy to do so. She didn't know how to start a conversation because she only had male friends all her life, but they eventually became close friends. At that time, Tifa was working two jobs. She sold steam buns and was also working as a bartender once a week at Seven Heaven Bar, who was owned by an old man. Years passed. Tifa saw Barrett and Marlene wandering on the streets. She couldn't bear to see Marlene to sleep in the streets, so she decided to bring them to Seven Heaven Bar to stay, thinking that she could buy the bar over with her hard-earned money. That was when she discovered Rakesh had a gambling problem and he stole all her money to pay off his own debts. Not only that, she also found out that Rakesh was in cahoots with those quack doctors who charged her skyrocketing medical fees. How horrible is that? She began to work extra hard for the money so she could pay off Seven Heaven Bar. With Jessie, Biggs and Wedge visiting the bar to see Tifa and them getting to know Barrett, that was also kind of how Avalanche was formed, I think. A few years passed. Tifa found Cloud at the train station. She observed Cloud's strange behaviors and inconsistent memories, but she did not choose to disclose her suspicions to Cloud out of fear that he may do something reckless. So, she decided to keep him close by introducing him to work as a mercenary for Avalanche while having more time to observe him. This is actually a very summarized version of what was written in the Trace of Two Past novel. I hope I get the events and timeline right. I personally find Tifa an admirable and relatable character. She is a character who has many weaknesses, and those weaknesses are what made her human. Tifa fans, I am a Tifa fan too, so please hear me out before you get offended. Although she is a real badass in-game, like I said, she has many weaknesses. She is selfish and will sometimes take advantage of people depending on the situation. She lied to Cloud about having enough money to pay for his mercenary fees when she obviously did not have that kind of money. She lied out of the fear of losing him and also because she wanted to keep him close. She took advantage of Aerith's kindness by asking her to save Marlene during the bombing. She lost her parents and her hometown at a young age, and she is afraid of losing people close to her all over again. She has difficulties expressing her feelings and tends to bottle up everything. Now, the amazing trait about Tifa is that she always transforms her weaknesses into her strengths. As you can tell by now, Tifa is just a person who yearns for a normal life, but somehow life just do not go the way she want it to be. She works harder than anyone just to earn more money to pay bills and also to help others around her. Poverty made her a hard worker. A bulk of the traits of two past novels actually emphasize quite a bit about how hard she trained and worked. Her shy and reserved personality gave her a lot of difficulties in expressing her feelings. Therefore, she tends to choose to be the peacemaker most of the time. Her reserved personality made her a peacemaker. Her financial situation and life experiences forced her to be more outspoken, and she learned the importance of networking even though she hates it. Her life experiences made her being able to embrace life as it is. Being cheated and lied to by many people when she was young, she was forced to become self-reliant and to trust no one at a young age. She grew to believe that crying and whining is a waste of time. Her gullible young self made her self-reliant and independent. She is selfless when it comes to protecting Marlene, Cloud, and the people around her, even though her kind intentions often get misunderstood. She is supportive and extremely loyal even though people around her may take her for granted. Her fear of losing people made her selfless and supportive. This is what made her character so relatable. She is a human, and all humans have two sides. That is why I like her character so much. Overall, I think Tifa is not only physically strong, she is also emotionally strong. Square Enix did a very good job designing the personality of Tifa. If you are still here and have not fallen asleep, congratulations! We have come to the end of this video. Hope you have gained some understanding to Tifa's personality and her background after watching this. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please consider to do so. Thank you and hope to see you again soon.